Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Gunpla Garage coming at you with a new video that has been requested when I was doing Gunpla videos on my previous channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to obtain old and out-of-print Gunpla, as you can see in this stack here. So how Gunpla works is Bandai spends all this money on these molds, these big giant metal molds. They pump the plastic into it, it's printed in that plastic, and then they are packaged and sent over here. That's the life cycle of a model kit, if you will. So because these molds are incredibly expensive, there's so much R&D that goes into it, and then refinement to make sure the mold is actually solid and quality. It's very, very expensive. So they don't typically retire molds. And if they do retire a mold, they will rebuild it and make it so then it works again. We saw this in the Master Grade Unicorn series because the Unicorn cycle frame had to be replaced because it had just been printed so many times. That's why some of the new cycle frame plates have a different copyright date on it than the actual copyright date of the kit itself. Because remember, Unicorn's been around since 2009. If I recall correctly, the Master Grade Unicorn's been around since about 2009. So it's been printed to hell and back. We're almost at 20 years of Unicorn. 15-ish, if you will. So close, pretty close. Without further ado, we are going to get into my methods of finding old, out of print, and rare Gunpla. And first, we're going to start with an old favorite, eBay. I got this Cubile on eBay. I'm going to preface this entire video by saying a kit is valuable to you based on the price that you are willing to pay it. Now, this market does ebb and flow with supply and demand, and this all hinges on the print schedule, when we see reprints of kits, etc. Things like that. Tons of variables. A pandemic is a variable that nobody really kind of took into consideration because nobody anticipated or planned it. So during 2020 to 2022, the hobby had so many scalpers in it because there were so many kits that were old and out of print and very sought after. Perfect grade Exias, a $200 kit, was selling for close to $450, $500. That's how this hobby works. It's all typical supply and demand type of stuff. So there are going to be some moments where if there's a kit you want, you will have to pay over MSRP. This is a kit I overpaid MSRP on, probably by about $15. This is 1,500 yen, so exchange rate would probably be about $15, $16, maybe even $14 stateside. But with shipping, that price would increase. Let's say you went to Mechawarehouse and purchased this one kit, that would probably be about $25 maybe with shipping. So I paid $40 for this, shipped. This was listed on eBay for $60. So I overpaid a little bit, probably about $15 or so. And the reason why I did that was because my whole goal is to collect one of every high-grade Universal Century Gundam kit that exists. This is a very old kit. This is high grade. This is high grade number 4. So it's very old. This came out 1999. This kit came out 1999. There's also a revive version of this kit that came out pretty recently. So that's why I overpaid on this kit. And that's kind of the logical reasoning for me to overpay on certain things, is that this kit is very old. There is a revive version of this kit that exists. So who knows when the next time this kit in particular is going to be reprinted. It's probably going to be a long time. Like I previously said, Bandai doesn't typically retire molds. They keep all their products. Even just 2 years ago when the Real Grade God Gundam came out, we saw reprints of the early 90s no-grade 1/144 scale G Gundam kits for Bolt and Dragon, Maxter and Rose, etc. So it's pretty evident that they're going to keep these molds around basically indefinitely, okay? So it's only a matter of time before things get reprinted. But I just wanted to check this off my list. This is an early high grade. I have no idea when this is going to be reprinted again. And with my goal in mind of collecting every high grade, it just made sense to pay a little bit over. So that is why this is valuable to me. So how did I go about doing this on eBay? So I found a seller that was accepting offers, and I started low. So this was listed for $60, and I went up basically in $5 increments. So I went 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and I stopped at 40, and the offer was accepted. So that's not going to happen every time. It hasn't happened to me every single time. There's been a few Neo Zeongs, the original red one, that I sent some pretty big lowballs on, and I didn't stop. So I was just trying to pester the scalpers at that point. And I came home with this for 40, shipped. Perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. Now, the problem with eBay is that because we have revive versions of things, some things can get screwed up. So I purchased this, and I purchased high grade number 41, which is the original Zeta Gundam release. What happened was the Zeta Gundam showed up. It was high grade number 203, the Revive Zeta. But luckily, because eBay's really good with buyer protection and all that, I was able to get a refund. So I got a full refund, and the company even said, it was our mistake, keep the kit, here's a refund. So I got a Zeta Gundam for free, more or less, because someone screwed up with shipping. So just be mindful that when you purchase something, especially if it's got a Revive version, there's the slight possibility that someone's going to screw up and send the wrong item. But because eBay has such good buyer protection, it's really kind of no worries. Just make sure that you see 30-day returns in the purchase area before you make the purchase, because you don't want to buy something that doesn't accept returns. But I think at this point, so many people got scammed by eBay that eBay forces people to make sure you can accept a return. So that is one of my resources for finding old and rare Gunpla. And this helps because sometimes they're US sellers, so if it's already in the States, you're going to save on shipping, which is nice. The next resource I'm going to talk about is Proxy sellers. So this kit, this is the Gira Zulu high grade number 102. This is kind of rare because the Gira Zulu guards type gets printed more than the original Gira Zulu. This doesn't show up all the time. I'm in a lot of buy and sell groups on Facebook for Gunpla, and we will get into that in a little bit. But there was a lady on there, AdHub, who was a Proxy seller. She lived over there. She lived on base, so the shipping was through USPS, so you really didn't have to pay exorbitant amounts of money for international shipping, which is incredible. That was such a huge plus, and why I primarily went through AdHub for any type of proxy I needed. Sadly, I don't think she does the service anymore, but she helped me get so many kits early. I got my Master Grade Zeta Gundam a week after it released. I loved using her services, but she's taken a step back to focus on real life stuff, which it happens. You can't fault her for it. So I picked this up for a cool 20 bucks. They had a flash sale with a bunch of old out of print stuff. So it was this, Johnny Ridden's high grade Zaku, Shin Matsunaga's high grade Zaku, all sorts of out of print kits, the Dom colony type. So dividing the shipping up between all the kits, and this cost me about a cool $25. So not bad, not terrible, not a heck of a lot over MSRP, and it knocks a rare, kind of hard to find and not likely printed kit off my list. I just mentioned it on the last one, but Facebook buy and sell groups or Discord groups are another great resource for finding old and rare Gunpla. I got this for a cool $80 shipped from Japan. So I took that into account, and it's basically more or less with the shipping close to MSRP for the actual value of the kit. Did I overpay? Yeah. Is this kit also going for about 120 street price right now? Yeah, it is. So I didn't mind paying a little bit extra just to get it in hand because, again, this is another kit that's not printed super often, and it's got a lot of cool features on it that I just wanted to build, and I wanted to showcase on the channel to all you guys. MSRP for the Kshatriya repaired is probably about 60 bucks, so $20 for shipping, it's a wash. And I have the kit in hand, so it worked out well in my favor. So I'm going to do a video on that one very soon just because it's so rare and hopefully give you guys an insight into it. but the Facebook buy and sell groups. So what happens a lot of the time, people will make these purchases, or perhaps they've had a backlog for many years. Maybe they've been collecting since 2015 or so they have a lot of kits. I see tons of backlog sales of 200 plus kits out there all the time. It's pretty frequent on the Facebook groups. And sometimes people will leave the hobby because life happens. You know, people have kids, unexpected car repairs, etc. And they say, I'm leaving the hobby, or I need to make some quick money. I'm going to offload some kits, especially some rare ones I've been sitting on for a long time, and we're just going to make some money. So that's usually what happens. You'll see a backlog sale. So that is another very good resource for getting old and rare Gunpla, but you have to be quick. There's a lot of people on these Facebook buy and sell groups, and sometimes people post at odd hours. This Rosen Zulu episode 7 version, again, another super rare kit that's not printed often, was posted at 4 a.m. Luckily, I'm up that early, and I hopped on this as soon as I saw it posted. I got this for a cool $50. This kit's going for about $95 street price right now. It's incredibly expensive because it's incredibly underprinted. This is one of the coolest kits Bandai's ever made, and they're sitting on it. It's so crazy to me. So, the episode 7 version, Rosen Zulu, a very sought after kit, very expensive street price, but again, the Facebook buy and sell groups and Discord groups as well, can't discount those. Those are another very good resource, and it's a really great resource because I look for a lot of US sellers, so I tend to save a lot of money on shipping prices. I need to touch on something with these Facebook and Discord buy and sell groups. Always use PayPal goods and services or a credit card with a reputable dispute system. I've seen people get burnt before. I've almost gotten burnt. I purchased a Psycho Zaku in 2021. It never showed up, but I made the dispute through my credit card company. I got all the money back. The seller could not give up shipping information, and the shipping information would have to show as delivered for it to be honored by the credit card company. The person never responded. So technically, I ended up winning. And that's just how disputes work. PayPal goods and services, it's the same thing. You just say, hey PayPal, this never showed up, and they say, okay. They go after the other guy, says, hey, you need to ship the stuff. The other guy doesn't respond or doesn't ship the stuff. That's it. They're screwed, and you get your money back. So always protect yourself. Always CYA. Make sure you don't get screwed on these private selling groups, because I've seen it happen, and there are tools in place to help you prevent that. So make sure you utilize those, okay? Now, the final and the biggest segment is HobbyLink Japan's back order process. So, I got this Zoc from HobbyLink Japan. This has been going for a street price of like $75. Pretty expensive for a kit that is pretty niche, to say the least. Okay, I love the Zoc. Trust me, I love the Zoc, but it is very much a niche design. Okay, what I did, and this works really well for me because I am trying to collect one of every single high-grade Universal Century kit. We're at 250 right now. Okay, that's a lot of kits. I'm missing about 70. So what I did was I took inventory of what I had built and what I have in the backlog to complete my goal of every HGUC kit. I then went on to HobbyLink Japan and I back ordered every single kit I'm missing from both HGUC, Gundam 00, and even some Gundam Seed and Seed Destiny old high grades, just so I can basically get one of everything in a small, easy to display scale. The way HobbyLink Japan works is that it puts you in a queue. So let's say they get 20 Zocs from Bandai. The first people in line with those 20 back orders get those Zocs as soon as they're delivered. So basically, you're just putting on a waiting list, and when it's your turn, you'll get your kit. And that's how the private warehouse system works at HobbyLink Japan. Now let's touch on a couple things. There are times that a kit says discontinued. That is not accurate. We know Bandai doesn't discontinue kits. So what discontinued means, and you can even find this in the information system on HobbyLink Japan, I think it's in the About Us page, that when they have too many back orders and they know they're not going to fulfill it for a long time, they'll set the kit to discontinued just so you can't continue to order it. So the Neo Zeong is a perfect example. I think even the Dendrobium at one point was discontinued on HobbyLink Japan. It's not actually discontinued. They just have so many orders they don't know when it's going to be fulfilled. So that's their way of cutting it off and making sure there's no more back orders on that kit. There's a few other kits that are like that. The high-grade Zeta Gundams 41, the one that I tried buying on eBay, that is considered discontinued on HobbyLink Japan because with the Revive out, who knows when they're ever going to reprint high-grade 41. It may be a very, very, very long time. So just keep that in mind when trying to hunt and search for these rare and older kits. The second consideration from ordering from HobbyLink Japan is you need to make sure that you're going to have enough kits in your order and in your private warehouse when it comes to ship. So you can only hold your kits for 90 days. There have been a few moments where I've been a day or two over the 90 limit. I had like 12 kits in my back order log and I was waiting on the real grade Epion, and I was like, I emailed them and said, hey, I'm just waiting till the Epion releases, and they said, okay, fine, no problem. Epion released straight to my private warehouse and I shipped it. So the shipping cost starts at about $130 for shipping, and that's astronomical. So HobbyLink Japan is not a good resource for 1 or 2 kits. Like, let's say you want 1 or 2 kits, that's when I would try and look for a proxy service. But if you're like me and you're trying to pre-order everything and get everything in kind of a big bulk package, that's when HobbyLink Japan is very fruitful, because $150 for shipping, let's say you divide that up against 15 kits, that's $10 in shipping a kit. That's the same price it would be if you ordered 1 kit from Gunzo or Mechawarehouse. That's basically what shipping would be anyways. So it kind of evens out, but you need to have probably 10 plus kits in your shipment to really make it worth your while. So in that instance, if you're only looking for a handful of kits out there, that's when I would start looking for a proxy service. So a good proxy service is Surugaya. There's a lot of really rare and vintage type stuff on there for decent price. Another proxy would be from Japan, which you can use that to go through Japan auctions. Basically, someone makes the purchase for you and then sells it to you, but you kind of get screwed on shipping that way as well. There's been a big influx of people using Surugaya a lot lately, and that's because they've been having so many promotional offers for free shipping that it makes it really, really worth your money. Sakura Mart is another good one. That's how I got my Destroy Gundam very quickly. And there's also Bai and a few others out there, but I've purchased from those 4, and those 4 I can vouch for are very, very upfront and reliable and very good. I will say that searching on Surugaya is a little difficult because its search engine isn't super refined, so I did price out the remaining high grades I need, and it was hard finding some of them because in the mid 60s we have the Blue Destiny set, so Blue Destiny units 1, 2, and 3, and I had to type in HGUC and then the actual number it was, so it was like 063 or whatever it was, to find Blue Destiny Unit 1, because Blue Destiny also had a Revive series in the 200s, and it so you got your Blue Destiny 1, 2, and 3 in the exams and HGUC Revive. So to try and, you have to kind of know how to search your items. So if you're looking for like master grade, it might be fruitful to fully type out master grade Rigazi or master grade White Ogre Zaku to try and refine your search. You just have to try, if at first you don't succeed, try searching it a different way and different keywords to try and find what you're actually looking for, because it stumbles over a lot of its searches, just being upfront. And those are my biggest resources for finding old, rare, and out-of-print kits. I hope this guide has been helpful to you, and like I said before, this is just the way I personally do it. I hope you found this video interesting and helpful, and I hope it helps you get those kits that you're looking for and have been looking for a long time. Like I said in my previous video, I know you're really probably tired of hearing this, but a like, a subscribe, and a share really goes a long way. It really helps me with the algorithm, and really sets me on fire motivation-wise to continue to keep creating good content for you guys. The channel's been doing awesome lately. I can't thank all of you enough for that, and I hope to keep giving you some nice content here that will help you enjoy the hobby a little more. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, hopefully, where we talk about premium Bandai and how to pick up premium Bandai kits that are rare or hard to find, and how to fully set yourself up for success on premium Bandai. With all that being said, stay safe, have fun, and happy building. I'll see you in the next one.